Seattle stand out.
Yeah, okay, so there are some NFL trade rumors. And
yes, Deshaun Watson. That's the biggest one in my opinion.
Yeah, lots of new head coach signings and stuff. So I guess, Cody, which one do you want to get started with? And we can kind of voice our opinions really quick.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay, I guess I'll open the floor to Alex. Alex, you want to talk about it?
Me talk about Deshaun Watson?
Yeah,
I don't know where to really start. I mean, it's a tough place to be in Texas right now, especially in Houston with the Houston Texans. The organization is crumbling. I mean, you've got J.J. Watt, an all-pro defensive end who wants out as well. You have Deshaun Watson who wants out. And when your quarterback and all-pro defensive end want out, the team starts to realize, and the players start to realize, if all of our good players are leaving because something's wrong, shouldn't I leave as well? And I think what's happening to the Texans is, what happened to the trying to think of a team. What happened to the Cardinals before they had Kyler Murray? I think the Texans are going to start the quarterback cycle. And what I mean is they're going to go through quarterbacks looking for somebody because they expect a player like Deshaun Watson. When the Cardinals moved on.
So wait, you're glitching out a little bit.
When they had Brock Osweiler.
Just a tad bit.
Yeah, something about Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, I know. He's talking about, the Texans have gone through this before when they were cycling quarterbacks. And I feel like when they lose to Deshaun Watson, I think the Texans are done. They've lost Hopkins. They're going to lose J.J. Watt. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He wants out just as bad as the quarterback. And I think the Texans franchise is going to have a lot of rebuilding to do. In terms of where Watson's going, I have some various rumors. I read the thing about Miami's trade that could happen, with Tagovailoa going to the Houston Texans. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Tagovailoa fits the scheme there. Tagovailoa, I mean, he's an okay thrower, but if you look at the Texans, they're always a throw-first team. And, Tagovailoa having to rely on a lot of running backs and the running back power at Alabama. And I think also Myles Gaskin coming out in Miami, I think things will just kind of set him off and it won't be a great fit for him. In terms of Deshaun Watson, on the other hand, I think Miami could be a good place for him with Devontae Parker and rising Miami Dolphin wide receivers coming in. Deshaun Watson hasn't had the experience of a good run game. David Johnson wasn't the greatest in that trade that occurred. And I think a run game will definitely benefit him because it'll take a lot less stress off of him. I mean, he was thrown right under the bus this season because, you lose your number one wide receiver on a trade. You've got a running back who hasn't been good for 4 years. And so you're pressured to throw the ball over and over again. And when you have your second best wide receiver getting kicked out of the league because he's doing drugs, it's a lot of mental pressure and it's a lot of physical pressure. And I think he's lucky that fans weren't there. Another place I think he could fit well is if the 49ers move on from Garoppolo. I think the scheme that Kyle Shanahan has going, it'll introduce Deshaun Watson to a sort of throw first, but more towards, tight ends as well as wide receivers. It'll introduce a stronger running game as well. It'll take some stress off of him. And I also think that the players he'll be surrounded by will definitely benefit his stature and his play type, whether that's running the ball a little bit or also, getting those good checkdowns as well as deep passes, which he's pretty good at.
Well, real quick, Alex, I have to disagree with that take. I do not think Deshaun Watson fits well in San Francisco. Just the way I see San Francisco, and I think to myself, Kyle Shanahan, he runs that team, and he does not let the quarterback have much of a say at all. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, it basically is like a dog on the leash of Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan's just telling him what to do. And it's honestly, it's more that George Kittle and it's more Raheem Mostert's offense than it is Jimmy Garoppolo's offense. And I don't know if Deshaun Watson wants to go into a system where it's a run-first system where the coach seems to have all the say, and he very much has restricted Garoppolo. So I just don't know if Deshaun Watson wants to take that risk of, like, he will not have much of a leadership role in that team.
Here's an interesting point, though. Is he willing to take the risk to step down from such a leadership role that he had on the Texans? I mean, you look at the way stress affected him this year. I mean, what did the Texans go, 4-12, 5-11?
Do you think that's because of stress, or do you think that's because their defense was that bad?
I don't think the defense is all to blame here. I think the way the team was coached, first of all, you have Bill O'Brien getting fired. And secondly, the amount of strain and pressure put on Deshaun Watson to carry a team. I mean, he had the most passing yards this season by any quarterback, and he went, 4-12?
Yeah.
You know, it shows just how much physical strain he was under to throw the ball and, like, constantly keep his team moving, because he knew that there was no way they were going to win games if he did not perform, because he was the best player on that team now that Hopkins was gone. I think that against
he was already the best on the team.
I think against Levi's point, he would perform well under Kyle Shanahan, just because the limitation and him taking a step back would allow him to really encompass the fact that, you know, running the ball can help my team as well. And, you know, not being pressured to throw the ball every down will help me not only as a player on the field, but also off the field, you know, mentally and physically.
I'm going to have.
What was that, Drew?
I'm going to have to disagree with both of you guys, actually. I think, he is not going to Miami. Me?
Oh, I can hear you, Drew.
No, Seth, we can't hear Seth.
Oh, okay. So, I do not think he's going to Miami because the owner and GM both said they really like Tua. And, again, this was the person that people were literally tanking for Tua. It's been 1 year. Yes, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow looked great, but not all rookies break out in their first year. And I didn't expect Tua to break out in his first year. I don't think you're meant to expect the rookies to break out in his first year, especially with, you know, Fitzpatrick playing for more than half the year. No, obviously preseason, a new scheme that he's never been in. You know, I just think that it's really, really irresponsible from the Miami front office to trade Tua so early. Will I think it happen? Absolutely not. But going back to the 49ers thing, I think the 49ers would be a great fit because Deshaun Watson really wants to play for a contender, and the 49ers really need a quarterback, right? And despite Levi's statement about George Kittle, etc., I'm sure George Kittle would love to be with Deshaun Watson and a great quarterback. I think Kyle Shanahan's a good enough coach to change his scheme around Deshaun Watson because I think he realizes how great Deshaun Watson is. And it's just a great match of a team. You don't have many teams that are contenders without a real quarterback, and that's what the 49ers are. And quite honestly, I really, really hope that he does not go to the 49ers because I don't want to play Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson 4 times in total. That's not going to be fun. But
playing Jared Goff, the immature.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree and disagree with both of you guys. And one more place that might be looking, there's possible rumors about him going to the Jets with a trade for Trevor Lawrence. That'd be pretty funny just because
that's way out of the ballpark at this point.
No, I think it's like the third most likely, according to like a bunch of
the Jets. It looks like the Jets aren't even going to pick a quarterback though, like which would really be surprising. Like all the analytics have them picking an offensive line.
Wait, Drew, you said they traded him for Trevor Lawrence, but the Jets
I just realized,
tanking for Trevor.
No, I know, but yeah. So I guess I don't know what I was thinking there. I was thinking, anyways, I think that's also a possible
maybe for like Justin Fields, like if they
that'd be going from a situation that's pretty bad to a situation that's worse. And Seth.
Seth, hopefully you have jersey insurance for that.
Yeah, I got this. I'm gonna start off. I got this jersey for Christmas, and I kept the tags on. Luckily for me, so I can get a refund. But I like Deshaun Watson. The Vikings since Clemson, and I wanted to succeed, and the Texans wasn't the place for him. And it's pretty clear now we'll get traded most likely. And like they said, 49ers, Jets, even of course the Dolphins was the first one came up. like you said, the Dolphins would be stupid to trade Tagovailoa, the first-year quarterback, plus that third overall pick, and something else. And quarterback that they tanked for Deshaun. They need to keep developing Tua and see what his potential is. You don't know what he can be yet. It was 1 year, and you had an up year. So, like I said, I disagree. Should not do that at all.
All right.
For the 49ers, I actually would agree. He'd be a pretty good fit because he does need a running game. As much as he likes passing the ball, he needs a running game, and they do have a pretty balanced with the pass team. And Levi said Kyle Shanahan to have him be a dog on leash. And I think Kyle Shanahan, if he has a quarterback at caliber, he would give him some more free will of the offense. He would let him have audibles. He'd let him get play calls for like deep passes. That's what he wants. I think Kyle Shanahan can adapt to a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. But I would absolutely hate if he goes to the 49ers because then I would probably not be able to like him anymore, which sucks. I probably still like him, whatever. But I really hope he did not go to the 49ers and somewhere else instead. But yeah.
So I pose two questions to you. What happens if the Texans trade Deshaun Watson? Do you think they'll end up taking a quarterback in the draft? And secondly, is New England a viable option for Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
Well, why don't I go ahead and answer one of those questions? New England is certainly a viable option, in my opinion, much more viable than the 49ers, because I think the organization in New England knows much more than San Francisco that they need to get a better star quarterback, where San Francisco has a guy who got them to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and New England has a guy in Cam Newton who is really struggling, and a guy in Jarrett Stidham who looks like he can't really play. Stidham looks like he can't play.
He's the GOAT.
But honestly, to me, I don't think Watson will go anywhere. I don't think they're going to get enough trade, because I think they want really, really great return for Watson. I don't think they will get that great of a return, considering he's on a 5 years left or 6 years left on his contract. And I think that in the most part, the Texans will end up deciding to keep him. But
Watson
Seth,
to Arizona,
you can answer.
Hopkins.
Seth, you can go ahead and answer that first question about do they draft a quarterback?
As they don't have the first round pick, they someone in the second round, probably like, I don't know if they could even snag a Kyle Trask maybe. If they end up trading Deshaun Watson, then yeah, you probably do take a quarterback and just see what you can get in that second or third round. They can wait around quarterback. And if he doesn't develop, then that's fine. You can try to sign someone else.
Yeah, and I feel like
Wait, Levi. I think we should let Miles weigh in on this.
They could probably go either way. You maybe see him on board.
Yeah, Miles, what are your thoughts?
To be honest, in the beginning when you guys were talking about this, my Wi-Fi was starting to cut out, so I started to know what you guys are talking about, but I
Deshaun Watson.
What about him? Sorry,
the two questions I posed were: one, do you think he'd be a viable option for New England? And two, do you think Houston would get its crap together and try and draft a quarterback?
Basically, there's some trade rumors that Deshaun Watson might be traded to a bunch of different teams, and New England's one of the options. Yeah.
So I think that he actually would work decently in New England, and I think, I don't know, we'll see if the Texans will actually, like Alex said, pull their crap together and get a good quarterback.
Who is the Texans' second string if they do end up trading Deshaun?
Well, right now they have AJ McCarron, who McCarron maybe would be fine
for a year
to
and then
start a couple of games. I mean, McCarron's not very good. Let's be honest here. McCarron has played like 4 games in his career. But maybe if they draft a guy, you start McCarron the first couple of weeks and then see how he does. And then if he's not good, then you move on to your second round draft pick. But the fact that they don't have a first rounder puts them in a tough spot. So if I'm them, the only way I'm trading Watson is if I'm getting a Tua or a Jimmy G or a Darnold or somebody back for him. Like,
what if they get traded a first round?
Jimmy G?
Or if you sign Cam Newton, maybe because Cam Newton is a free agent, so maybe you sign Cam, or you sign Jameis Winston, who's also a free agent. That could be your
Carson
other
Wentz.
option.
Please take him.
Or
please
Wentz,
take Carson.
maybe Wentz.
Please.
You'd have to trade for Wentz though. So, and I don't think the Eagles want Wentz.
Yeah. Seattle stand out.